Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. Uh, I hadn't gone live in a couple days because I was a bit under the weather. Uh, Crazy fever, feeling horrible, but I'm back, brand new. Not at 100% just yet, but I'm getting there. I'll be all right. I think you can tell my voice. I sound crazy, but whatever, whatever. We here to talk some shit. So let's get right into it. As you can see, I have the one, the only, the legend, the myth, Hunter Biden. He gave an exclusive interview to, I believe it was Channel 5. I don't know the guy's name, but I know this dude. He's uncovered some crazy things, but it's crazy that he even got this interview. But regardless, let's just jump right into the first clip I want to show you guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally going to do an FBI, another congressional investigation, because they've convinced themselves that it had to be me, that there was a little tiny. And I guess my point of even bringing it up is that no, I have been clean and sober since June of 2019, and I have not touched it.
That's a lot. Just look at his face. I've not touched it. You believe once a crackhead, always a crackhead. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't say that. There are people who are, have gone through, uh, have gone through, what do you call that? Addiction, right? And are on the better end of that. I don't know if he's one of them, but yeah, I still think that's a wild statement to make. He should be hiding. That's what he should be doing. He should be out of the limelight. But let's just finish this video.
Drop of alcohol or a drug, and I'm incredibly proud of that.
And why would you bring cocaine to the White House?
Why would I bring cocaine to the White House, stick it into a cubby outside the Situation Room in the West Wing when I wasn't there? Anyway, who the fuck knows?
And politicians, I mean, they do blow, right?
I testified before the House Oversight
What was he
Judiciary
reaching
and
for?
Ways and Means Committee.
Wait
It
a
was
second.
whole
Wait.
big thing
What was he
before
reaching
the
for?
Politicians, I mean, they do
Was he gonna do blow on camera?
I testified before the House Oversight Judiciary and Ways and Means Committee. It was a whole big family shindig on the Republican side. All of them showed up, from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Lauren Boebert to Matt Gaetz to, they're all sitting there. Now, none of them had the guts, except for a couple at the very end, to ask me any questions. At one point, in the 7 hours that I was being deposed, and which, by the way, I demanded that they do it in public, and they refused, and the reason is because they're fucking morons. Matt Gaetz, of all people, was giving me shit about my drug use. I said, really? All the people at this table, you're gonna talk to me about my addiction, my alcoholism? And I said, how many of you have had your own experience with alcoholism and addiction? Because I knew at least 4 or 5 people in that room on the Republican side that were in recovery. And I knew of 3 that have been accused credibly of being drug users. Yeah, I mean, they're...
Did he say? Wait. We gotta go back. I gotta hit that.
Couple at the very end to ask me any questions. At one point, in the 7 hours that I was being deposed, and which, by the way, I demanded that they do it in public, and they refused, and the reason is because they're fucking morons.
Wait. So he was deposed, and he asked to be deposed in public, and they said no. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea if that's true. But if that's true, one, he's wild for that, for suggesting that. And number 2, if they really didn't do that, the Republicans are even more wild for that. I'm curious why, but this interview is just crazy. This dude, this is the gift that keeps on giving, is what it is. Like this whole episode is gonna be gifts that keep on giving. Let's go to another hashtag deal with it. What's this one about, man? New interview. Let's see what he's talking about over here.
Fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now,
What?
or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back, or I'm gonna fucking invade. It's a fucking crime what they're doing.
let's uh, let's move away from the fact that it's a crime or it's not a crime. But he just said, if I was to become president in 2 years, then he said 3 years, then he said 4 years. Does he know that the presidential election happens every 4 years, and we're close to a year in? What, like November 5th to November 5th? I guess you would say January is when he's sworn in. I don't really know when they start the clock. I guess we could say November 5th is when the election happens. Like, do you have it doesn't president doesn't work like that. And even if it did, who's voting for Hunter Biden? Like, who? I did an episode on him previously, and I covered a few things that he's done that is kind of wild, and the fact that he was pardoned, and the fact that he likes the party. And it's like, I mean, I guess maybe if Donald Trump could be elected, why can't we elect Hunter Biden? But I just the fact that even come out his mouth after everything that just happened during his dad's presidency, that he's outside talking this reckless. It's just like it's like those people who taunt the cops, like, yeah, I got away, yeah, I did this, I did that, not realizing statute of limitations. And I obviously he's been pardoned, so there's probably nothing he can really get in trouble for. But I'm just saying, like, you talk a lot of shit, and eventually you might put your foot in your mouth. I'm not a genius over here. I'm just making some assumptions, some clear, simple assumptions. This is a wild picture. Like, look at this. He just looks like he's a crackhead. Oh my god! Like, what? Oh, we're living in that movie, Idiocracy, I think it was, where everybody was wearing Crocs, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much shit. But let's
sodium
get to
bicarbonate and water and heat. Literally,
That's it?
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar of cocaine and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
Oh, it's vastly different. And like, for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall. That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it combines with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. All of these actors and, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. And they were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing.
Not exactly, but close to it.
Wait a minute. Am I watching an infomercial for crack? Like, is that what just happened? Did this guy just say that it's probably safer than alcohol? I mean, alcohol's bad regardless for you. It messes with your liver. It just makes you act stupid. You're not as smart on it. And, like, has he... He's clearly never been to New York or been around, like, real crackheads, because I wouldn't say crack is safe. And even though the process of cooking it might burn off the impurities or whatever the fuck he said, it's still crack. Like that, like the same way that people are like, oh yeah, you could snort a little, white powder. It's like, that's you're doing crack. It's just in a different form. Like, it doesn't change. Like, just because you roll it up in a joint doesn't make it any better. Like, what's this guy talking about? Am I misunderstanding? Let me know in the comments. Like, what is old boy talking about? Is he really? That boy really? Wait. We gotta go back. Hold on. He said what?
Of some euphoric recall. That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it
No.
safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite.
Because it is.
When you make crack,
It is. It makes you. Like, have we never seen any of the rat experiments on how rat will skip food for crack? Or was it coke? It doesn't matter which one it was because they're one and the same. It's like trying to call steam different than ice. It's the same shit. It's just in a different format. Like, steam is just I don't know, aerosol version of water, I guess. I'm not a scientist, but come on, oh, ice and water are two different things. Well, what happens to ice when it melts? What happens to steam when it collects in a place? Condensation. What's condensation? Condensation is water. What is water? Water is ice. Ice is water. Like, what are we doing? What are we... Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe this guy. He's the son of our ex-president. Like, what? Yo, Hunter Biden made me cry. I'm crying on live TV or live stream, whatever. I can't believe this. The shit that came out his mouth. Like, I've been around crackheads. I know what crack does to you. I seen kids with crackhead parents who 1 year are normal family, and the next year the kids are in foster care and the parents are running the streets. I've seen this. But crack doesn't change you. It does. We need Jesus. I'm not even religious, but that's what my grandma would say. Oh my God. All right. Let's get a little serious here. Let's finish. Let's move forward a little bit. Let's finish watching this.
Is because it combines three really important things. It's habit forming, there's an oral fixation, and there is a ritual combined with it. And so the idea of hand to mouth is a habit and a fixation that we learn very early, even as children. With a pacifier, with a spoon, with your thumb, to even to breastfeeding. Okay, so that really, I don't want to get into the psychology of it because I'm no expert, but I do know this: is that
you sound like an expert. I'm no expert, but let me tell you everything about crack. I can tell you a lot. That you sound like an expert. That's expert talk.
With that, ignition, combustion, and then you combine the ritual. You have your cigarette in the morning. You have a cigarette when you get out of the car. You have your cigarette with your coffee. Crack is that on steroids. It's over and over. There's ritual to it. There's a ritual.
He compared crack to coffee. Oh my God, he compared crack to coffee. No, he didn't. There's no way. I don't believe him. No. Nope. What else does this man talk about? I'm gonna get canceled on YouTube. Let me stop. Let me keep going. What else do they talk about?
Things you've heard about yourself in the press.
Oh my God, the list is forever and forever. They got stuck on for a while, even Fox News, that I funded the Wuhan lab. I did not fund the Wuhan lab.
I did.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah,
exactly. Me and George Soros. Supposedly me and George Soros have a lot in common. The one thing I'm positive we don't have in common is that I am very, very far from being a billionaire. But those conspiracies are kind of the craziest. You know, I just heard Jake Tapper is going on TV saying that, I basically acted as the chief of staff.
And Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that he was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
I think I spent 12 days in the White House in the last 2 years of the administration. I had a lot of other things going on. Rudy Giuliani and Bernie Kerik went to the Newcastle County Courthouse here in Delaware and talked about me being involved in, child sex crimes and stuff like that. And literally with nothing. That one was the last and the only one that was kind of hard to wake up from. Is like how do you ever take that out of somebody's head after they've heard it. One of the craziest ones is what Patrick Byrne said about me. And let me get this straight. He said that I was the key person in ensuring that the sanctioned Iranian oil money that was being held in South Korea was released at the behest of myself and somebody in Pakistan. And I took a 10% fee off the $8 billion for my family.
We have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think.
And then I had traveled to Tehran and to the Middle East in 2022 and 2023 in order to effectuate this. And then that ultimately, his followers made the direct connection that that money was used to fund Hamas for the murder of over 1,400 Jews on October 7th. That's the kind of stuff. And now, I know you guys look and say, like, but who believes that? You know, I don't know. The million people that read that tweet, a big investor in SpaceX, a very, very wealthy guy, claim just months ago that I rented a house from him and that I trashed the house and I had the Secret Service stiff him on the rent and that I tried to pay him with a book of art made of my own feces.
His ex-landlord claims he stiffed him on a whopping $300,000 in rent. What happens to the back rent that Hunter Biden owes my family? Is that pardoned now?
And, you know, like, how insane is that, right? You know, but you look into the background of this person, and he's a major investor in SpaceX. He's probably worth a few $100 million, and he has this huge following on X. Elon Musk retweeted that, and it went, you know, and it went viral.
It's pretty messed up, man.
They created this a character. That is both, in some sense, a ne'er-do-well fail son that has thing for most people, because we have been fed this perception of crack cocaine. It's more than just a drug. It's more than, like, if you convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals, white men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a fucking violent crime than an immigrant. And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, you know, Rahm fucking Emanuel. So fucking smart, Rahm Emanuel. He said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that fucking appealed to those fucking white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old. And he got 81 million votes, and he did not because he appeased their fucking Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from fucking Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. And then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now,
Oh, there we go. I don't think you guys heard me. Regardless. Whoops. Let me fix this. You guys got get tell me this sooner, man. I couldn't believe. Anyways, let's get so let's talk about Uncle Shay Shay. What I was saying is, this is Shannon Sharpe, and if you didn't know, he basically was dating a much younger woman, and it wasn't just dating. He was into some extreme things. Now, I'm a big proponent, which I've said it on this channel before. I don't judge people for some of their preferences, because everybody has different preferences, and no matter how outlandish a preference might be, if you're playing within the law, right, then okay. Now, that's also kind of a slippery slope, and I'm willing to admit that, because sometimes the law allows for things that are not always morally can be morally justified. And, you know, we can agree to disagree, we can argue semantics, whatever, but for this purpose, I'm not 100% against what Shannon did, in the sense of him being 50 and dating a 23-year-old. Just like I wouldn't be against a woman. I think Charlize Thornton came out like a couple weeks ago on, you know, on that podcast, Call Her Daddy, and was saying she messed around with a 26-year-old. Nobody complained about that. Nobody said, oh, you know, allegations. Nobody's looking for the 26-year-old to see if he wants to press charges, right? But in this situation, everyone came out against Shannon. Now, I held back from making a video because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. He came out ferociously, whatever. He came out very strongly and was like, I'm going to fight this to the end. I think a lot of you guys have seen that, and if you haven't, go look that video up. But regardless, I think it was sometime either last week, maybe Friday, or maybe this was Monday possibly, which would have been yesterday. But he comes out, and or the news comes out that they have settled. And so when that happens, you have this statement that we have back here, right? And I'll go ahead and show you guys. And it says, it reads as the statement reads as follows. And this is from the girl that he's accused of you know, allegedly, well, I guess I don't have to say allegedly anymore, because he's been found guilty in a court of civil, in a civil case, I guess. I don't even know, like, I don't even know how to articulate that. Like, it's not even a real trial, and the proof of burden is just like, as long as it could be possible, not even without it's not one of those verdicts that's like a criminal case where it has to be 100% certain, right, that you committed this for you to be found guilty. But regardless, this is what the motto said. Today I've decided to retire from OF. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I still will be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for the next chapter. I love you all forever and ever. So now, basically, from the lawsuit, like, because they reached a settlement, right? So Shannon Sharpe grape accusation announces retirement from OnlyFans after reaching settlement in lawsuit. I'm curious what that settlement is. Now, it's gonna be obviously under wraps, and I guess they won't talk about it. I don't see the need for Shannon to come out and talk about it. I don't think she's gonna talk about it. I would assume maybe they have some kind of gag order on part of reaching a settlement. So, well, we probably won't ever find out the amount, but clearly it's enough for her to say she's retiring from OnlyFans. Like, I don't really know how much she made on OnlyFans. I don't really care, but she's retiring. Like, she made one play and retired. Now, this case is just, all the details in this case are wild. Like, some of the things Shannon said, first and foremost, are extreme. Now, if you do know anything about Shannon, he grew up in extremely rural conditions. He didn't even have indoor plumbing. So I'm assuming he either had an outhouse to shit in or he dug a hole in the ground and just went outside. But so he was definitely exposed to a lot of racial things. Now that doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't, it doesn't also make it wrong. I mean, they're two consenting adults clearly at some point. But where I find Shannon to really have slipped up, especially someone like him who loves to give advice to players, younger men especially, and definitely talks a lot about women and some of the things that he refuses to do, like even get in an elevator with a woman. I just think he got caught. He got caught being, a kinkster or whatever that thing is called. Or like he just got caught being extremely sexual, like that, and that's his playing field. That's what he likes. That's what he's into, and apparently that's what she was into at some point in time until it wasn't that. And I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I don't think we'll ever find out. But the fact that there are no criminal charges is, to me at least, a point of contention, and it's really something that's like, she recorded certain conversations and she posted them, and now the man, he got fired from pretty much everywhere outside of his own podcast. And I don't think his fans, because I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of his because of this. I definitely still tune into his shows and I listen to what he has to say, but he definitely stepped in this one. Like, you should, who you're gonna do private things with should be someone you can trust to keep those private things private. If they're not, then you have yourself a problem. And at the level that he's at, there should be a way that you can keep this situation from escalating to this point. I would assume. But then again, you never know somebody's true colors, and so here they are. I laugh not because this is funny in the sense of what he did is funny. I laugh because this is possibly the stupidest way to not only lose money, but also lose your reputation, your career. And America is a land of second chances, so I would be surprised if he doesn't get a second chance. But he's got a long road ahead of him, and it's gonna be a lot of jokes, like a lot of jokes. It's just interesting. Let's see. This says Shannon Sharpe's $50 million sexual lawsuit has been settled and dismissed with prejudice. Both sides agree their relationship was consensual. I don't know how accurate that is. This is wild. Not only was the case against Shannon Sharpe dismissed, they agreed it was consensual. For the audience who heard all the charges in details. So let's see what $50 million lawsuit dismissed with prejudice. Let's see. Oh, God. Tony Busby. Let's see what Tony Busby says. On April 20th, 2025, the Busby Law Firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe. On behalf of our client, both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship after protracted and respectful negotiations. I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutual agreement upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. So, how do you... am I missing something? Am I missing something? And dismissal with prejudice means a court case is terminated permanently and the plaintiff is barred from bringing the same claim against the court or any other court. Essentially, it's a final judgment that prevents the plaintiff from refiling the lawsuit. This contrasts with a dismissal without prejudice, which allows the plaintiff to refile the case. Dismissal with prejudice is a final decision on merits of the case, meaning the court has essentially ruled against the plaintiff on the specific claim. So wait, so is for dismissal with prejudice. A case might be dismissed with prejudice due to various reasons, including a settlement agreement between the parties. Oh, okay, so basically, it's not a guilty. It's just that he settled. But I'm confused. Why would he settle if he said that he would fight this to the end? Maybe, and this is one of those things about this case where, like, these cases in general, where when you bring a case against someone, that person, especially when they have a certain level of money, that person is now bleeding money, and they don't have a way to replenish it because, yeah, he still has his YouTube channel and stuff, and he's probably making some money out of there. But the money that he was making from ESPN and all the other shows that he would be on, he now doesn't have. He's spending money on lawyers, and he has to. And if he loses in civil court, the judge gets to award the penalty. So it could be a lot higher than settling outside of court and ending these costs, these fees, because he's paying his lawyer. Now the plaintiff, if I'm not mistaken, which would be the young lady, she's not paying her lawyers because her lawyers get a percentage from the settlement. So she's just on the other end willing to stretch this out as long as possible. And this is where I think this is funky. This is like part of the justice system that's like, nobody got time for this shit. As a regular person, imagine that. Like, you're gonna get, and I mean, I guess that is the legal system if we think about it. Like, most people have to either settle or, take a plea or, because they don't have the money to continuously fight it. I think it's very rare you see somebody fight certain cases, especially something like this, because they can't. They're gonna go broke. It's like, damn, he's gonna have to, man, oh man, hey Shannon, if you want to jump on the pod, we'll interview you. I don't got a problem. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Listen, this has been the last like 7 days, including me being sick, has been wild. Like, what is going on, man? What are we living in? I said it earlier. What are we living in that movie Idiocracy? Like, it's got to be a simulation. There's no. This is crazy. All right, let's go ahead and cover the next topic. As you may know, Mr. Obama, and I don't know how true this is, but we're about to find out. Let's just listen to the clip before I start throwing allegedly out there.
Damning thing that you learned.
Let's go back.
What was the most damning thing that you learned after looking through all of these declassified documents?
Maria, the implications of this are frankly nothing short of historic. Over 100 documents that we released on Friday really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office, after President Trump had already gotten elected. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue that is so serious it should concern every single American, because it has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. What we saw occur here, as the documents we released detailed, was that we had a sitting president of the United States and his cabinet and leadership team, quite frankly, who were not happy with the fact that President Trump had won the election, that the American people had chosen Donald J. Trump to be the next president, commander-in-chief of the United States. And so they decided that they would do everything possible to try to undermine his ability to do what voters tasked President Trump to do. So creating this piece of manufactured intelligence that claims that Russia had helped Donald Trump get elected contradicted every other assessment that had been made previously in the months leading up to the election that said exactly the opposite, that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to try to, quote unquote, hack the United States election for the presidency of the United States. So the effect of what President Obama and his senior national security team did was subvert the will of the American people, undermining our democratic republic, and enacting what would be essentially a years-long coup against President Trump, who was duly elected by the American people.
Yeah. Now,
it's kind of interesting timing, right? It's the timing is kind of impeccable. They find these things. Now, I don't necessarily consider Tulsi Gabbard one of those people who might lie about something like this or would come out to try to defend the president at a time like this. But I really only have kind of one message on this one. Release the files, bro. Release the files, all right? Release the Jeffrey Epstein files. We all want to see them. Y'all said you had them. Pat Bondi said she had them. Kash Patel talked about it. Pam or Bam, whatever, Bongino, whatever his first name is, he was all over podcasts too. One thing that I will say is I never really heard Trump say that he wanted to release him. I know that there's been a few conversations that have come up where he's like, oh, well, maybe if it doesn't hurt anybody, but regardless, his whole staff ran on releasing this stuff. Just release it. We want to know. What is this stuff about Obama popping up? Release the files and let's talk about Obama. Like if any of it's true.
among others, took the world on a wild goose chase to try and take down their political enemy, Donald Trump, no matter the casualties along the way. DNA Tulsi Gabbard is now calling for prosecutions, revealing declassified documents from the Russia collusion made-up investigation, which she says detail a treasonous conspiracy by officials at the highest level of the Obama White House to stop incoming President Donald Trump. The cabal included Barack Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Jim Comey, and Susan Rice, who pushed a made-up story that President Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election, so the cabal would not lose their grip on power. All of this exactly as then Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, Judiciary Committee member John Ratcliffe, and President Trump himself told us so many times from day one.
What that is it's the original intelligence, the original reasons that the counterintelligence investigation was started. Now, this is really important to us because a counterintelligence investigation uses the tools of our intelligence services that are not supposed to be used on American citizens. So we've long wanted to know, well, what intelligence did you have that actually led to this investigation? So what we found now, after the investigators have reviewed it, is that, in fact, there was no intelligence.
As a former federal prosecutor, my opinion is that declassifying them would not expose any national security information, would not expose any sources and methods. It would expose certain folks at the Obama Justice Department and FBI and their actions taken to conceal material facts from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court.
How involved was John Brennan?
Totally involved. He was totally involved. John Brennan was one of the architects, in my opinion. You look at Brennan, you look at Clapper, you look at them all, but ultimately, the president knew everything. The president knew everything. President Obama and Vice President Biden, they knew everything.
And Comey and Brennan and Clapper, they all were terrible and they lied to Congress. They spied on my campaign, which is treason. They spied both before and after I won.
Join me now, herself, the director of National.
Sheesh. I don't know if I want to watch this full interview, honestly. But if this is true, I'm curious what could happen. Like, could they really try to arrest Obama? Is this something that they're going to, try to prosecute? And I think at this point, actually, you know what? I know at one point that she did say that there's an ability
Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. Director, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
There's an ability to prosecute.
What was the most damning thing that you learned after looking through all of these
The intelligence community agreed that there was no intelligence that reflected that Russia was trying to hack the election. in favor of either candidate. The evidence showed, the intelligence showed that, again, Russia did not have either the intent nor the capability to be able to impact the outcome of the United States election. So it was very striking when we look back again at the documents that I declassified and released that shows there was a shift in early December, the first week of December. Again, another document was produced by the Intelligence Committee, a President's Daily Brief, that was consistent with every other assessment that was done previously leading up to the election. Russia did not, this is after the election now, did not attempt to affect the outcome of the American election. That was never published. Hours before it would have gone into President Obama's President's Daily Brief, it was pulled by a senior level intelligence official saying that they had to pull it because they had received new guidance. The very next day, this meeting was called, a National Security Council meeting, bring together all of the senior leaders of President Obama's cabinet, and the topic that was put forward was a sensitive matter. The tasks that came out of that meeting was coming from President Obama directing the intelligence community, then Obama's ODNI director Clapper, to produce a document, to produce an intelligence assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow affected the outcome of the election that had already occurred, electing Donald Trump to the presidency. This document that they published in January of 2017 was the foundational groundwork that they continued to reference over and over and over again to enact this years-long coup against President Trump.
Now, I know that Devin Nunes came out with the Nunes report and a lot of other reports after that to indicate everything that you're saying. And I guess the worst of the reports, the real evidence, is the reports of most recent, right? The last reports are the worst reports that we're going to see. And I am...
So, Tulsi has declassified reports that show, damn, Obama, why you gotta get involved, man? Not Obama. Obama? I guess like Dave Chappelle said, at least we got one in there. I guess we worry about getting the right one in next time. Man, oh man, Obama just blew his legacy over here, trying to mess up Trump. Not just for this, but everything he did, even on the campaign, and just the scolding of people and telling us how we should vote, and man, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is crazy. This is, if like, could they hold Obama? Could they hold Obama accountable for this? And it's like, another thing too is, it's like, one of the things this administration ran on was like, hey, we're gonna throw people in jail and and they haven't thrown anybody in jail except for undocumented people and some people who have documents. I think, I don't know, that the water's muddied in that situation. I don't know what to think anymore. But I don't think anything, no one of any importance ever gets in trouble when it comes down to these situations. Like, nobody ever really gets their feet held to the fire. They'll have a congressional hearing, they'll put it on C-SPAN, nobody watches that shit. You get a couple people on YouTube make some videos, and in a month, whatever the news cycle is, in a week, 2 weeks, something else happens, and now we're on to the next thing. It's like, it's a bit disappointing, and I do understand why some people's sentiment for the current administration is that they are sick and tired, and some people are not very happy, even though there are people who have no problem with what he's doing. I don't know, I don't give him as much credit as some people are giving him. He's done some things that are look like they're gonna get us some results. Some of the tariff things and the stock market is turned around again, and there was legislation signed for cryptocurrency. I think that's why Bitcoin is up to an all-time high. I wonder what Bitcoin is at right now, actually, now that we're talking about it. But yeah, like, there are some things that are okay. Yeah, Bitcoin's at 119 at the time of this recording. So yeah, like, what is he closed the border down. I don't agree with how he's getting rid of people, and some of the methods they're using. I also think that the deportation of people would probably go a lot easier if the cities would cooperate, and that way they wouldn't be just out here just asking random people and having to run into Home Depots and shit, and going to communities looking for these people, because some of these cities are just letting these guys out, which is a fact. That's a fact. Like, they're literally, you have mayors saying, "Oh, I'm not going to comply." Like, that's crazy if you think about it. Like, you're not going to comply with helping get rid of someone who's committed crimes in your city. You've arrested them, now you let them go, and they're illegal aliens. Like, that's bonkers. And I definitely don't agree with some of the ways that they're getting people to come into their immigration status meetings, and then, or whatever you call them, court dates, and then getting rid of them and breaking up families. And that's sad to see. Nobody, like, we all have families. Nobody wants to see nobody's family broken up. Like, this got to be figured out. And that's probably one of the things that are dragging heavy on his campaign, as well as the Epstein files. That's another thing. But yeah, this right here, it's kind of a bombshell. If they're really gonna indict, like, let's watch a little bit more of this video. I'm curious, because I could have sworn I saw Tulsi say that there wasn't.
I understand that there is more, perhaps, that you are going to come out with next week, and I was told that that's why they raided Mar-a-Lago, that they wanted to find the Trump-Russia documents that indicated there was absolutely no collusion, and that there was no evidence to even start such an investigation. But Trump didn't have it there in Mar-a-Lago, but that's why they raided his house in 2022. Is that correct?
I don't have the details on the specifics of the Mar-a-Lago raid itself. Those are within the possession of the FBI. But there's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. And that's really the point here that I think is most important, Maria, and you said it in your opening. Accountability is essential for the future of our country, for the American people to have any sense of trust in the integrity.
Yeah, so release the Epstein files for accountability.
Integrity of our democratic republic, accountability, action, prosecution, indictments for those who are responsible for trying to steal our democracy is essential for us to make sure that this never happens to our country again.
Yeah, and I want to get to that right now, because I've heard talk of a criminal referral. Are you referring this in a criminal matter?
Oh, here she
goes. We are referring all of the documents that we have uncovered to the Department of Justice and the FBI for a criminal referral. Yeah. And do you believe that we will see prosecutions? I mean, our audience wants to know where this story goes from here. Will we ever see anyone held accountable for this incredible lie on the American people? I will do all that I can, and we have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents, because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time, who were so disgusted by what happened. We're starting to see some of them come out of the woodwork here, because they too, like you and I and the American people, want to see justice delivered. So we're going to provide everything that we have, everything that we will continue to gather to the Department of Justice for that direct intent and that direct purpose. There must be indictments. Those responsible, no matter how powerful they are and were at that time, no matter who was involved in creating this treasonous conspiracy against the American people, they all must be held accountable.
So do you expect, just to be clear?
Oh, shit. Well, we know how the justice system treats black folks, so I guess I'm going to have to be putting money on Obama's books. Because, like, bro, what do you mean? Like, so, let's let her finish. I'm curious what she's going to ask me now.
Do you expect indictments and prosecutions?
I'm not a lawyer. In my view, we have the evidence to be able to move forward and bring about justice, yes, to prosecute and indict those responsible.
Oh, you have evidence? So there's enough evidence. There's enough evidence to prosecute. This, like, what? Oh boy, we're living in a simulation. That's it. It's a simulation, guys. Welcome to the simulation. If you're just joining me, this is crazy, and that's like, what do you even say to that? What do you even say to that? That at some point in time, the president, Hillary Clinton, Jake Clapper, Jake Clapper, or whatever that guy's name, the funny looking dude who looks like Yoda, just the white version with glasses. Yeah. Like, they all colluded to create a fake narrative about incoming president. Like, regardless of who it was, even like the fact that that's even something that happened. Like, what are we still living in America? Like, what is this? What is going on? What's going on? Called out by Tulsi Gabbard for treason on July 18th. I'm not even gonna. I don't know what they're about. Tulsi Gabbard exposed Obama's support for Al Qaeda as a means to create regime change in Syria. Yeah, I mean, that was. They all do funny shit. They all do crazy shit. Like, what is anybody surprised anymore? I just never thought this. Tulsi Gabbard called Obama a traitor on live TV with the receipts to back it up. This should be a fun weekend. Facts. Like, that's a big ass bag of popcorn. Yo, why does that look like the bag of popcorn where they put all the popcorn after they didn't sell anything? Did this dude just steal the bag, like the trash bag of popcorn? You know what I'm talking about? Oh my god, yo, what is going on? Oh man. Let's see, what's this? I say these words very clearly. DNI Tulsi Gabbard speaks out on Obama and the deep state's years-long coup against President Trump video. Yeah, I mean, this is wild. Obama is sick in this picture. He's probably somewhere else. It wasn't because of this, but that shot's crazy. He looks crazy. Against Obama, what are your thoughts? Yeah, what are people's, like, that's nuts. You're telling, that is crazy work. She just went on live TV with receipts. I spy. Yo, the memes are gonna go crazy. Oh my god, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. Do you think Obama is a spy? Do you think he conspired against Trump? Do you think it's true? Do you agree? Boy, Obama, Mr. Hussein, the one guy. If you stand with President Obama against Tulsi Gabbard, retweet. Yeah, sure, I guess. Nancy, I still think I am at Speaker Pelosi. Friday released what she called overwhelming evidence showing former President Barack Obama manufactured and politicized intelligence after President Donald Trump's 2016 victory. I bet you Nancy told him to. The weird thing is like after the victory, like not, or I guess, I wonder if the Russian stuff came out before he won, or did it come out after? I think it was before they were saying that he was that he was like a Russian spy. But something that not a lot of people, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. You guys tell me. But the fact that before 2016, all we ever got were like politicians to run for office, and I don't think Trump won because he was the best candidate or he said things, that were amazing out of this world. I think he won because people were sick and tired of the status quo, and they want to see some stuff change. And as much as they wanted to see change, and I believe the Trump's brought some change. I've also believed he's brought a lot of controversy as well. Some of it being completely his fault, it just being exacerbated by one side because they dislike him. But the fact of the matter is, like, he won because y'all ran horrible candidates against him. Like that's really what happened. And and it is what it is. Like, just make your peace and let's move on. But to create false narratives and it just, I don't know, it's giving me end of Roman times vibes. Like, what like what are we doing? Are we self-destructing on purpose? Like, man, oh man. But I'm at a loss for words. If this is real, like this, and I mean, she said she declassified a bunch of shit, so there's got to be some truth to it. I guess we'll figure it out in the next coming days. But let's move on to my next and final point. Let's keep it a little bit light, maybe not as light as some people would say, but as you can see, we get to Caitlin Clark. I don't know if this is a Photoshop picture, but I kept seeing this shirt on other players in the All-Star game. I don't know if Caitlin was even out on the All-Star game floor. I think she was injured, so she wasn't even there. But I did see the "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirt, and yeah, like for example, here you have like, they're in the shirts. Look at Angel Reese in the back. Like, yeah, pay us what you owe us. Like, do they understand that the WNBA lost $40 million last year? Or 50 million? Like, let's double check, how much profit did the WNBA make in 2024? Okay, so it says in 2024 the WNBA lost an estimated $60 million despite increased revenue and interest, according to Yahoo Sports and the Washington Post. While the league's revenue grew to over $200 million, expenses including a new $25 million expense for chartered flights contributed to the overall loss. This loss is a significant increase compared to the previous average annual loss of around $10 million. The WNBA is kept afloat by the NBA, which holds a majority ownership stake and subsidizes much of its operations. Well, looky here. So the NBA is paying child support to the WNBA? Who knew that? Now I cover that in an episode I did previously a while back. This was maybe a few years ago now. It was the Michael Porter Jr. versus the WNBA, because he had got really shit on for some of the comments he made. But it's like, are these girls serious? Like, let's watch this video. Pay us what you owe us. Let's Angel Reese. Air ball. Yeah, girl, hold your hair. Yup. That's a wild shot. That is a wild shot. That's what you want to get paid. You want to get paid to do that? Like, WNBA players, pay us what you owe us, WNBA.
20, on a foot, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
Hey, yo.
20, on a foot.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
20.
That math is not mathing. That math is not mathing. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't understand what the point is. Like, are you trying to... You're trying to grow the sport. You're trying to get more fans, but you're constantly moaning and complaining about getting paid. Like, what is... Like, what's the point? What is the point? I don't understand it. It says stop and use... Let's see. Stop and use your brain for 2 seconds. This shirt doesn't say pay us the same as NBA players. It says pay us what you owe us. Now, be curious, not judgmental, and ask why. Will WNBA players receive only 9.3% of league revenue. NBA players receive 50% of league revenue. Yeah, but y'all, that doesn't make sense. Like, y'all have a negative loss. Y'all had a negative year. That doesn't mean nobody gets paid. Y'all still gonna get paid, but y'all can't expect to get paid like a revenue stream of the NBA. Like, the NBA, I know, like, no. Let's look at let's see. I should have put how much revenue did, not does, but whatever. You get my point. You know what I was trying to do. Mind your business. In the 2024 NBA season, the league's 30 teams generated a combined revenue of wait a second. 11.3 billion. Y'all, just think about that. WNBA made $200 million more in 2024 and still had a net loss revenue of $60 million. Meanwhile, in 2024, the NBA made $11.3 billion. Not to mention that supposedly their views were down, which I read an article. It wasn't just that the views are down. It's just that there's so many different ways to watch NBA that they're not tallying all of them like they were back in the day where you can only watch it NBA TV or, TNT and the things that they played on TV. Like, that's crazy. Team revenue in 2024, $11.3 billion, includes revenue from various sources such as ticketing, broadcasting, sponsorship, and merchandise. NBA also surpassed sponsorships. Oh shit, $1.6 billion in sponsorship revenue. Like, yeah, of course, because people watch it. The league's media deals include the recent $76 billion 11-year agreement with ESPN, ABC. That is nuts. And Amazon Prime Video are a significant driver of revenue. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I watch a lot of NBA on Amazon Prime. I do. You can see more. There are more games on there now. That's like, why? Francis Carlotta, y'all can't give 50%. Y'all can't give them 50%. It don't make sense. It says, imagine being an employee at a company that has never turned a profit and showing up to work in these T-shirts. Yeah, you're getting fired. Like, nobody's listening to you. They're gonna ask you to take that shit off or go the fuck home. Real simple. Like, what's going on here? This is nuts. WNBA player loses an estimated $50 million a year with 144 players. That's around $347,000 a year per player. So if y'all keep talking, y'all gonna owe that WNBA $347,000. If we talking, like, y'all need to reimburse the league. Like, let's actually look at some of these highlights for the All-Star game. WNBA. Let's check out what some of these highlights look like. See if they're looking any good. Cause you gotta pay them what you owe us. Oh, Caitlyn was on the floor. I lied. of the cup. She passed to Angel Reese? And they dapped each other up? Oh, shit. What was that? I wasn't expecting to see that today.
No, I think that would be fun.
It would be great. It'd be fun.
Skylar Diggins into the game, firing away and knocking
Okay,
it
they
down.
hit a 3.
They've had a record in city, state, and local fan engagement. Some of the most intriguing.
Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Alicia Gray, Skylar Diggins, and Nneka out there for Team Collier. What a play there. Stewart lays it in. Deep 3. I don't think she was quite on the 4. And Nneka waits and lays it in. I love it, Caitlin. One last thing I want to ask you about. How would you describe the bond between you, Kelsey, and Aaliyah? We see.
Yeah, nobody cares. I want to see the. I want to see how bad it really was, because it was 74-48 at one point.
There's the record 12 assists for Skylar, and there's the record point total for Napheesa Collier. 2 records fall.
Okay. Hit another tray ball. Okay. Still not entertaining, but. Oh yeah, this was this is one of the videos I saw that made me want to talk about this today. What is this? What is this? What a walk! I'm out, run it back. She picks up 1, 2, 3. What was that? That's a carry. That's a carry. Get out of here. Nobody wants to see that. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're crazy. You're crazy. Damn, denied entry.
So what section is that?
I'll get the guys to bring y'all in.
Well, we in the W and shit, so we just got done at the All-Star game, so like, I'm sorry, we don't need, I ain't even trying to be funny, but we should not be waiting in no line. Oh, God.
What you mean? What? Look at how you're dressed. I mean, I shouldn't talk no shit.
We getting in right now, come on.
Oh, they got in.
Yeah, she with me. What you doing? I know. I need to count. Tati, go. Tati, go. I'm good. Tati, go. Y'all with me. Go, Mom. These are my people. Man, y'all, why we finna fucking go, bro? Because they doing too much. Come on.
Oh, they didn't.
Come on. Come on, bro. We going. They just talking about, oh, we can only have 7, huh? What are you talking about, man? That's crazy to me. We all get it Sports Illustrated. We 2D. We Sports Illustrated. We don't got to deal with this shit. This ghetto ass shit.
You're being kind of ghetto right there. They said 7. You're not crazy. Yay. Y'all not crazy famous. Y'all make like $80,000 a year. Like, I made more than you last year. What are you talking about? I love the WNBA, and all the players agree they should be paid more than they are. That said, the All-Star game last night was a bad joke. 0 strategy, 0 defense played. It was a 3-4 or 3 and 4 point shooting contest for 4 quarters. All the injured players could have played. Yay. That's crazy. Let's see. What? But anyone see the WNBA All-Star game? Yeah, I didn't even know what was going on. I missed it completely. I completely missed it. I know I saw a video. Damn, Team Collier dominates Team Clark with ease in WNBA All-Star game. Where is... Well, I guess that's that. I don't know. I just... let's look at one more term. Let's see what happens. Let's see. How did I lead the league in rebounds and get snubbed? What are you talking about? No way.
This is called a mid-ranger. NBA players can't shoot them either. And I remember when the Pistons went viral for not being able to make a shot in warm-ups too. The WNBA All-Stars warm-ups are going viral because in this entire video, not one single shot was made. People are saying they couldn't pour water out of a boot even if the instructions were at the bottom. But in all fairness, this is called a mid-ranger. NBA players can't shoot them either. And I remember when the Pistons went viral for not being able to make a shot in warm-ups too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I guess you gotta compare it. There's no other choice. What am I missing? I could have sworn I saw there was a video of highlights. I feel like I'm missing something. I had to find it and put it up later, maybe. But I could have sworn there was a video of a shit ton of highlights where people were just missing. Rough to watch. I mean, she pulled it from way behind the 3-point line. She pulled it, indeed. Or was it this one?
WNBA is spaced out. The paint is wide open for a split second. It allows Aaliyah Boston to cut, and even though they do end up closing out, Aaliyah Boston makes that easy layup off of that difficult pass by Caitlin Clark. I don't even know how she got it through those defenders. Caitlin Clark.
It's called eye vision, buddy. That's how she did it. Yeah, I mean, I guess not. I guess it is what it is, but there you have it. Pay us what you owe us. Y'all keep talking that smack, y'all gonna have to be paying back. Like, because the revenue is poo-poo. Oh, that's a hit. That's a hit. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Until next time. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of these stories. And stay tuned for the next live.